Do, 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 do. I had no other option. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Ooh, let's go. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh, mama. A little nature corn, right? Look at how gorgeous this is. This is flawless. You're gonna hear me talk a lot. We have a lot to talk about. Don't blink if you're buying. Welcome to the show. Because we're having a wonderful day on this gorgeous 24th September 2025. We're still recording. Awesome. Welcome to another taste test. Today we are tasting. My mom brought me Sora Lee little bite. Never ever had these, but me loving the packaging. It's all about the package. Now there's a couple of people that thought dirty. Did I mean it dirty? Absolutely. But this is really cool because we're going to work and we're always looking for those little snacks, you know. Plus today we got work and we got a tournament, so there's not gonna be a mukbang. So right away, we're gonna go in. For some reason, I've never heard of these. So either these are kind of new, or these are not super popular. But listen, got 20 bag. I eat one a day. That's 3 weeks minus 1 day. Well, today is Wednesday, so 3 weeks starting from today, which I get one extra on 1 day. So without further ado, let's try it out. We got party cake muffin, little bites. You know what's insane? They're filled. They're packaged in plastic, and you can still smell. You smell through it, so I'm excited. The smell is just phenomenal. You know what it smells like? It smells like every single. Like you guys remember, every single like cheap, right? But in a good way. Every single cheap. You know what it smells like? It smells like exactly like a Twinkie. That's exactly what it smells like. I was looking for a cheap thing with some cream filling, and I just realized that was Twinkie. So this is what it looks like. It's a very small muffin, which is, I would call the cupcake without frosting. So this is super cool because the frosting is often what is the most, like, for example, these bad boys, I can eat a whole bag. Frosting, I don't know if I could. That's a good song. It's in the song. Another most delicious thing that I ever had. Again, this is what's supposed to be inside. Another most delicious thing that I ever had. They're quite unique, in a sense where it's really good. It's really nice because you do have a muffin. And this is a dry muffin, but you do taste a muffin, which we love, right? And ultimately speaking, it does taste like a birthday cake. We're gonna pack with 5 muffins inside, and they're small package. However, it's good because individually speaking, they're delicious. And usually that means I can't wait to get the other one. But the more I eat it, the more heavy on the taste it is. I couldn't eat more than 2 bags, you know? So it's great. It's great. It doesn't feel like, you know what I'm trying to say also is, it doesn't feel like a snack, you know? It feels like a dessert. And maybe, just maybe, right? This would eat, this possibly, and this, if that's the case, it would be like such a good idea. These would possibly hit the spot after you work out or after you work. For example, take a protein bar. If you eat those, and don't work out, like, bro, what am I eating? That stuff is disgusting. But if you do and you do a workout, this is a reward. So maybe if I ate those after work, it would have been better. But hey, we learn and live, and we live and learn. Do we learn to live, or do we live to learn? Oh my God, this is amazing. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink, it should blink. Welcome to our show. Continuing up, having a wonderful day on this glorious 24th September 2025. We are going for a small peach and mango guru. So we're going to be opening it. Listen to it. I love that sound. And you even get their cheers. So why are we celebrating? This is merely but a sip of courage, because we are about to attempt possibly our most complex video, our most intriguing video, and possibly the most solidifying video. So of course I'm going to give you guys an intro. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. You know what? Let's put the glasses, that way I look about 0.72%. No. No. About 0.72 times smarter, which means I'm looking less smart than I'm usually looking, which means that the glasses are kind of costume, but hey, it was a funny joke. This morning we had an appointment with the whatchamacallit, with the I'm gonna feel bad saying something I'm saying I'm gonna be saying. I had an appointment with the governmental worker who's helping me find information. As I told you, there's 2 governmental workers. One of them is helping me build a CV, applying to jobs. You know, it's really nice. Oh, I got a text. I think. Get the lovely V or team talking to me. That's Rovia. Oh, I forgot to answer Timbo. You're a douche, dude. You don't answer people when they're texting you. Make you a giant douche. So we have this appointment with this person this morning, and our background is in psychology, right? Which is always something that interests me. So why does it interest me? Well, because you're gonna find a lot of people, and this is kind of dark, right? You're gonna find a lot of people that are interested in psychology when they have problems psyche themselves. I went through a traumatic experience. My answer, or my traumatic response, was to proceed to research what was wrong with me. There had to be something wrong with me. And because I'm so self-conscious and I'm so self-sufficient, I decided to make some research about what's wrong here. And because I made some research about what is wrong here, I'm able to analyze or self-analyze and self-medicate with the problem. For example, the first time we saw each other, she said, when you face a higher dose of ADHD, when ADHD seems very chaotic, because she has a background in psychology, she said, what do you do? And I was able to say, listen, I'm going to go, I'm going to work out, I'm going to make a video, I'm going to do a video that's crap, so I'm going to film a video. I don't have those lots, but I'll film a video where I get to say crazy stuff, and I'll write it in a name that nobody's going to want to watch, and I'll post it. That way, this energy is gone, right? It's not in the phone, it's not in my brain, it's somewhere on the internet under a name that I don't even know. And most of these videos are private, so if you were looking now to find it, you wouldn't. So this morning we talked, right? And because she has this knowledge in psychology, listen, I'm surrounded with people that are smart, right? Am I saying that I'm smarter than most people? No, I'm not saying that. I'm quite the opposite, to be honest. But you know what would be really nice? Music. What's some music? I feel very chaotic because this morning, again, the conversation We'll get into why it was so, but it was so fulfilling. So fulfilling. It was possibly one of the smartest conversations, one of the most fulfilling conversations that I had in a month. Because, and we'll get into it, and it's very weird as the reason as to why. There you go. Okay, so the code is this. Look, the first thing you find is porn. Do you want to see? No. Oh, of course. And then you can say bro is pretending to watch porn. The question is why? But hey, how cool would that be? Okay, so we're gonna go with I really miss my mistress. We'll go with self-care. No, we'll go with Intimate the Lonely from Nine Inch Nails, which is really good. So, we're talking to this person, right? And although I'm in a position which is very weird, and we talked about this morning. So the first appointment that we had this morning. Let's go. This song, bro. Again, filming here, and here, which is kind of insane. So we're talking, right? And it's kind of nuts because we were talking about the difference between Ink and Steph, and I think it's because she inspired me confidence. She just seemed trustworthy, and she just seemed understanding, right? That I was seeing shrink, which I'm kind of against because that's admitting that I have a problem, and I will drink myself to a stupor before I admit my problem. Now, this is not alcohol, so this whole thing didn't make any sense, but didn't it? Or did I? Right? I learned today something important. Do you learn to live or survive, or do you live to learn? See, this crazy mind was understood this morning, and this is just enabling the bad behavior. That maybe not enabling the bad behavior is the problem in itself. Maybe because I'm so afraid of what people perception, I'm not being myself, and because I'm not being myself, then, you know. So we start talking, right? And it's amazing. It's such a good conversation, right? And I don't want to be a dick because I love my surrounding, right? But at the same time, this is more so Steph's problem. It's not really Ink Vendetta's problem, right? It's a problem that I have in my personal life. In my personal life, I have amazing friends. I don't have a lot of them. In real life, I have 4. But me calling them, me talking to them is amazing. I can call on them. However, this is quite complex. This is borderline personality disorder, which we're going to talk about later, right? It's insanity. And if I feel like I'm talking with this person, my mom, my dad, I want to talk to them because they're going to be worried. If I talk to my friend, they're going to be worried. Like, okay, well, I know you're weird because I know you for years. Most of these friends I know for years. These then always in the river the Saturday is what you make it. And then you realize just how nuts it is, right? So it's also insane because and this self, you don't want to trouble them, right? Because you don't want to trouble them, this is going to be a long video. I'm telling you, this is my most complex video. This is my longest video, so you possibly should watch this, okay? So we go in and we talk, and when I have these problems that are more Steph, I don't get to talk to as Ink because Ink is a different character, right? I'm still me, but I don't have the problem that I have in real life. Is Steph broke? Undeniably. Is Ink broke? Ink never learned the value of work and money, so why would he be broke, right? So, coming back to it, this morning we were talking, and for some reason, we're delving in deeper. Again, she has a background in psychology, so I felt comfortable talking with this. But at the same time, and again, you have to be close enough to the person to be honest and open. You have to understand that this person is able to help. My parents, if I tell them, right? For example, my parents, they still don't know that I did a tattoo to replace emotional pain with physical pain, right? They just thought, oh, I thought tattoo would look cool. If they knew, they would be worried about me, right? It's been a secret I've been carrying for years. I was able to tell her today. You know, and it was just talking to someone who understood, but not at the point of what you're doing. What you're saying is making sense. Is there's a logic, a weird logic, a messed up logic, but some sort of a logic. And the craziest thing about logic is it doesn't have to be factual. What I mean by that, right, is I can tell you that the sky is green. Like, there's no way, bro. It's never been green. And then I show you a picture and the sky is green. And the picture has been photoshopped, right? So it's green. So you see the sky is green and you just cannot accept it, right? Now, photoshopping is mental. Your mental will do gymnastics to Photoshop an ID so it's appeasing and appealing to others, but at the very core, it's not the same ID, principal ID. Photoshop, you take a picture of an apple, right? This apple is old. It's brown spots. It's been dropped a couple of times, right? It's disgusting. And if you look inside, it's all what do we call it? Moldy. Whoa, where have you been? That apartment is a mess. I'm gonna have to clean it today. Again, messy brand, messy apartment. Clean mind, clean home, right? So yeah, so you Photoshop this ID to make it more appealing, but it doesn't change the ID. So you gotta go the crazy route. It's okay, well, how little do I have to Photoshop to give you the good ID? And this morning I felt listened to, but I also felt understood. Now, feeling listened to is one thing. Feeling understood is another different. It's another completely different thing. And it was the factor of the feedback itself. Talk about it. How important was the feedback, right? And I admitted that I was doing videos because I was constantly I wasn't being honest, and I wasn't happy not being honest. So for example, she was like, why are you always last second? Because if you went earlier, we could have finished earlier, right? And I'm like, yeah, well, I function better with pressure. I've always been like that. And she says, like, is there a reason? Are you acting like that in your normal life? And then I was like, well, there's this show on Netflix, and this is the brain of V Vendetta. Prepared to talk about something, but not prepared. I always go on the surface. I never dive deeper than the surface. I never go in details. And when I'm serious, when I comment somebody, I add a joke because I'm uncomfortable being nice to people. You know? Because I feel like I'm kissing ass. And that's not cool. That's not cool, bro. So I kind of lied to her and say, listen, I had this show that I want to watch. And I have this show that I want to watch. Like, literally, this is exactly what I said. I have a show that I want to watch, and I know that's leaving this day on Netflix. And I'm afraid I'm not gonna have time to watch it, which is something that's going on because yesterday I was super stressed about The Good Place. Yesterday, The Good Place was caca. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth, was annoying because it's such a good show, but I remember it to be so much better, and because I remember it to be so much better, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching, right? But at the same time, we watched it today, like, holy crap, this is so good. This is so freaking good. And then these parts I don't remember, right? And I'm like, wow, my brain is forever transformed, which is not true, but still. So I told her, and I'm like, well, I make videos, and it just slipped out, right? Because I was comfortable, and being comfortable is like sipping. I keep referring to alcohol for some reason, I don't know why. Because maybe because I feel aloof, maybe because I feel relaxed. Talking about it this morning was a weight off the shoulder, and because it was a weight off the shoulder, you feel like you are lighter. I don't do drugs. The lighter I feel when I'm drunk, so it feels like you're drunk, but you're not really drunk. You're just drunk of a feeling. You're high of a feeling. I'm high on love. I'm high on life, right? So I tell her, and we were talking about, and she asked me, how do you separate this? And it's like, how do you separate the two version? Because you're telling me that you're this person, but you're also this person in front of me. Because I told her that I didn't say the name, thank God, because she's gonna check it out. I'm gonna say, oh my God, this guy is insane. Lock your doors. Lock your doors by crucifix. This guy's insane. See, said something serious, had to fix it with somebody that's less funny, right? She's screaming at me or somebody else? Well, so filthy. They say filthy. Rough without you, and you're better off without me. Well, so ugly, yeah, yeah. I'm better off without me. You're better off without me. The bleeding, the bleeding. Favorite punch, which is again an amazing band. So I said that, right? And she was like, well, are you different because you played a character? Why are you doing this? Because this person, okay, so this is complex. And this is the craziness. This is a huge spoiler for what's coming. I'm gonna dive in deeper after a bit, but for now I'll just introduce the control. So I said I do videos. It's like, are you different in the videos? I'm like, well, I used to be different, but since I've been doing it so much lately, I feel like I'm the same person, right? And then she was like, well, I feel like if you're focused on, that's gonna be hard to focus on another course or work. And this is where it gets complex because the work and the focus, the work and the possible schooling. Because like I said, she's more so in guiding me into getting to a school and doing some courses so I can get a better job, right? And she was like, well, if you like doing video that much, why would you go to school? And I'm like, well, and then it's kind of crazy because I talk a lot, but it doesn't happen often that people question what I'm saying. Yeah, so she questioned what I was saying, and I was like, okay, well, I didn't ask myself the question, and then you realize that it's different because Steph cares about school. Steph cares about work. Ink was just to create, right? Just to make content and make content and make content, right? So it doesn't matter how much I make or how much I don't make. It matters that I create, and it doesn't matter how good I create. I just create. The feeling or the idea or the concept of creating is as important as the product that's created, right? Again, do you live to learn or you learn to live? It's the same thing. It's the concept which gives different results, but it's the same variable. So you go in, and I was like, well, Steph cares, Ink doesn't care. She's like, you keep referring to Ink as this other person. What do you feel like is different? And I'm like, it's funny that you say that because, and again, life is insane because about 2-3 weeks ago, right? I had a so she said that too. She said that. So that's fucked up because everything that I'm gonna say, you're gonna think that she said it and I'm just repeating, right? I had this identity crisis. Now I didn't call it the identity crisis because I didn't think it was the identity crisis. I was like, okay, well, I don't know where Ink starts and I don't know where Steph begins. I was talking about legacy last week. Legacy in communication, right? What am I leaving behind? If Ink dies and I stop making videos, what is there left? How did Steph grow, right? And she had the identity crisis. I was like, holy shit, it is an identity crisis, right? And then I was like, why? Well, it is. It's problematic, but at the same time, is it? Because Ink is me and I'm Ink. They're the same person. They're just different name. At birth, I was giving the name Stéphane. I could have been giving the name Richard because I'm French, Robert, Antoine, Gilbert. A very French name. I was giving the name that I have, which identify me because this is what I answer to, right? Right? Your noun is more important than your pronouns, but at the same time, it's your identity, right? The same thing. So I was like, well, there's a difference, right? And I've been having a lot of problem lately saying, okay, well, because I'm always working. And then this is also happening. We're talking about this morning. The problem that I have with always working is, technically speaking, right? Am I very different in a real life that in, just the concept of a identity crisis or trouble, personality trouble, TPL. I don't know what you call it. I'm gonna check it out because there's a name for that. Trouble, personality, multiple, dissociative identity disorder. Even if I say it will be alright. She did Grace, come on. If I don't make music videos, I'm gonna go crazy, right? Then identity crisis, and it's kind of crazy because I never thought about myself like that. But then we talked about movies, and it was kind of nuts because she was asking me, well, I don't think you have ADHD. How do you sleep? And I said, well, again, it's a problem because when I do work a lot, I sleep a lot. When I don't work, I also sleep a lot, but it's not that I'm tired. It's just I'm bored. My brain doesn't understand anything else than just sleeping. I'll sleep for 4 hours even if I'm not tired. And she's like, it's very reminiscent with the lack of sleep and the identity problem that you have to a movie called Fight Club. And again, I just didn't know that I'm a huge fan of Fight Club, huge fan. And it's crazy because this also makes sense. And now, there's gonna be a delusion of grandeur, okay? But again, this is the exercise of talking, having an open conversation. Do I believe what I'm saying? Absolutely. Will I change my mind in 3 weeks? Absolutely. Is it the end all be all of my life? I'm gonna end the movie, just like in the movie, with a gun in my mouth and shooting? Probably not. Because the guy didn't have pants, and I'm not going out without pants. Let me make that clear. But in that movie, the guy doesn't know who he is. So the main character is called main character. He doesn't have a name. Then he becomes Tyler Durden, which is the better version of himself. And then everybody knows him as Tyler Durden because they're the one and the same person. There's one of them is a normal person. One of them has manic episode caused by hallucination because you don't sleep. So one of the things that you do when you don't sleep is you can have hallucination. Usually it takes 36 hours, 46 hours. But the hallucination, and this is also crazy because this is also related to sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis, you have a hard time sleeping. Your brain is still functioning. My apologies. So because you're not resting your brain starts to hallucinate, and those hallucinations feel real because your body's asleep, but your brain isn't. Which is why you got sleep paralysis, right? And that's one of the craziest things, right? And so like this is very similar, and just like the main character, there's no story. I told you guys the story before, so I'm gonna do a recap as quick. If you ask me my life before the apartment, very little to know. I'm a very reserved guy that likes to read, that likes movie, that likes music. If you ask me about the apartment, well, I'm still a gamer, but now I get to choose how much I'm gaming. I get to game the whole day, so this is the decay of the gaming and the takeover of the controller, right? The decay of the functionality in the society versus the rise of the king of controllers. And if you look, mangas, I was obsessed with mangas because I didn't have I didn't have much, not closure, it's boundaries. I didn't have boundaries, so I would hyper focus on things, which is also TDAH, which is in French for ADHD. TDAH, trouble d'apprentissage, hyperactivité. TDAH, trouble. I don't know what the D is actually. I'll never leave. You know, I need those little things. A little bit on Dead Lion. You know, those little dreams. All I could say. That lion and then lion would stay. I am a lion and I want to be free. You see a lion when you look inside of me. Which is the song, which is, again, you didn't see me choose it, but he's a guy that feels like there's a beast inside and he wants to be free, but also he's a father. He has to be a father. He has to maintain that normalcy, right? Remember an army of all those little kids. It's insane because this dissociative, I never saw it as something, right? And then you realize that me not knowing, it's also complex, right? This is also complex because she asked me what got you into making content. Because she said, I don't understand. You said that you're doing this the whole day. Because she did ask me what I do today. Well, I did. When I'm not looking for work, when I'm not applying, I'm making videos, right? Which is the truth. I work 18 hours a week. It's not a job. For me, a job is 40 hours. I'm sorry. Well, it depends. If you go to school and you have a part-time thing, you know, it's similar. It is similar. But what I was saying is, so I told her about the bully and the fact that I had a shitty life. So I wanted to come home, and I literally called myself Vendetta for vengeance. Then I met some cool people on the net, and I was like, you know what? They deserve to know the real me, and I don't have to be myself in the workplace. I can be myself on social media. And this is the definition of dissociative disorder. We'll read it together. Because this is just fascinating. I was questioned today. Which never happened. People are allowing me to talk, and at the same time, it's my fault because I turn everything into a joke. And because I turned everything into a joke, people don't worry. But Should they be worried? I don't think so. I don't think that she should be worried about me. But yeah, there's definitely some issues. Dissociative identity disorder. Dissociative identity disorder, previously known as multiple personality disorder, characterized the presence of at least two personality states of alter. The diagnosis was extremely controversial during the memory wars and remained undisputed among psychiatrists. TD. This is insane. Now, this is kind of crazy because there's also schizophrenia, but I don't see Ink, and I'm talking to Ink, right? So this is kind of cool because that would be another story. However, for content's sakes, two guys, one of them that is not there, would take me to viralness. So we're talking about that, right? And I was talking about how comfortable I was, and she was like, "Well, okay, well, you're saying that you changed. Is there some difference between you and Ink?" And I'm like, and I'm not gonna tell her the truth, which is, I'm not gonna tell her the truth, which means that I don't talk to people. The only people that I talk to is Carl, Cal, Benjamin, my parents, Céline, Simon. So I kind of have, and Shao, of course, Shao. Can I forget Shao? I love you, Shao. I'm sorry, Shao. I got like a handful of people that know me from before I made content, right? And at the same time, this is complex because they know me before I made content, which is 4 years ago. So if you knew me after 2021, you possibly know Ink and not me, which is crazy to think. This sentence is insane, right? And I was talking about how most of the conversation that I have, most of the social activity that I have, are via being a character. Even though the character is myself, it's still considered character because they're still a different name. You won't call a pear an apple, and you won't call an apple a pear, although they're both fruits. Although they're both delightful in a pie. No one else is delightful in the pie? Cream pie. Pun intended. Pun intended. So, we were talking about it, and it was just diving into it, right? And she's like, holy shit. And at the end, I'm like, I felt bad because I felt like an insane person trying to convince a sane person that somehow I made sense. This is what I love this morning. I felt like she understood what I was trying to say. I was talking about how Ink is more honest, it's more voluble, is more able to talk about its feelings, right? And that's the truth. In real life, I'm not the most emotional guy. I want to talk to people about how depressed I am, you know? Even though we're not depressed. Why am I going to depression? Or because depression was the last big chunks of emotion that we had. The last overwhelming sense of emotion, tsunami of emotion that we couldn't control. There's two kind of people in their life. There's factual and emotional. I consider myself factional. But then emotions are part of me, and when they're taking over, I have to acknowledge that also, right? So we're talking. And then at the same time, it's nuts because we're having such a conversation. It's so nice. And she's like, okay, well, do you find yourself not honest? And I say, yes, I'm honest. I just feel like sometimes if I tell the truth, people are going to think I'm crazy. She told me about the time in your life where the most honest. And because you felt understood and not judged, I told her I was the most honest at 22 years old. I had my depression, I was an asshole, I was manipulative, and I was a liar. Now, let's repeat that. When was the time that you were the most honest about... When was the time that you were the most honest, right? And this is kind of crazy because after that we watched The Good Place. And The Good Place answers so many of this question. So today the brain was titillated. We had multiple braingasm. And I miss those. Fuck a condom, let's go raw. So it's kind of crazy to say that the most honest I was when I was lying and manipulative. Because I didn't care about people feeling. I wasn't feeling well myself. So I was like, okay, well, the narrative is complete shit. Let's control the narrative. Let's push it in a good place. Now, was I hurting people? No. I thought that I was. Did I hurt people? Yes, possibly. Did I do it on purpose? No. I thought that because I was in control of the narrative, I could control the impact the narrative have. I.e., I can make a sad movie and I can make a romance movie. I'll probably do a romance movie because I don't want people to be sad, you know? But if my brain is saying to do a romance movie, they're not honest. And Craziest thing is, I was more honest back then. Am I dishonest right now? No, I'm not dishonest. I'm actually really. The difference is insane. If you asked 4 years ago, to be honest, I wouldn't answer. I was so shy, I was so self-conscious that I wouldn't answer. But nowadays, I don't want to hurt people, and I know my word have consequences. So I'm more mindful of my words. And if they're not impulsive, if they're not their first thought, if they're in a thoughtful thought versus a first thought, then you control and you filter your reaction. You know? It's like this episode of Seinfeld, right? And you see the baby. Right? And there's an episode of Seinfeld which is crazy because this show is 30 years old, right? But you see a baby, and that baby is ugly. Ugly, you know the episode I'm talking about. And everybody says, no, the baby is pretty, is gorgeous, don't worry about it. But then, I don't know, I think it's Cosmos that says this baby's ugly. And Cosmos is looked as an asshole, but he was the only one that was honest enough to say the truth. Huh? Now, this is the truth because now that we watch The Good Place, which is a show completely about moral and the good thing and the wrong thing. Is the right thing to lie and hurt people, or the wrong thing is to, or is it the right thing to do than to lie and spare people feelings? I don't care if your baby is ugly. It doesn't mean he's gonna be ugly his whole life. My cousin, and again, I'm not the prettiest looking guy. I know I'm ugly, which is good, because my personality shines. Hello. My cousin, she's dating a guy, and this guy, he has a malformation. So he has the side of his eye which is caved in, and except for his face to be round, there's this place where there's like not a hole, but there's like there's kind of like a hole or like a hill, you know. And then when you look at his son is also like that. So you're like, okay, well, this is possibly hereditary, right? So you feel bad because the kid, you know. But then at the same time, it's you hear? Shut up. See, this person has been screaming at me, and she insults me all the time, right? But then she's honest. She said, "Are you guys having a party?" And the guy said, "Yes." And you know what she said? "Shut up." That's badass. That's possibly the truth. Is it a asshole behavior? Absolutely. Is that the right thing to do? Possibly. I don't know anymore. Questioning yourself is good. If I had the choice between questioning myself and not questioning myself, I wouldn't choose to question myself. So going back to the story, with my cousin, like, no one's gonna tell him, like, yo, you knew that you had that physical deformity, and then you knew that your kid is gonna, and my cousin, she's pregnant with another kid, and my uncle said at hushed voices, said this guy is dumb. His first kid has the same deformity as him. Second kid's gonna have the deformity as him. Why bring kids in the world? I'm like, fuck, this is your grandkids. Is he wrong? It's your personal choice, you know? But I was more honest when I was an asshole. Because now, when I talk to people, I know I'm gonna hurt people's feelings. So I often don't say what I'm thinking, but I don't wanna. I have this friend, which we used to talk every single day. And this friend did a lot for me. He did a lot for me. But we don't talk anymore. Because I'm going to text him, he's not going to answer. It'll take like a week and a half to answer. And it's okay, he's busy, right? He's working on himself, which is great. Bravo. And I'm like, bro. Like, I also work. I work a normal job, I film, I do some recaps, I work a lot, I stream. And I still find the time to reply to people, right? You can find a time to reply to people. It's normal. But it was nuts. It was nuts. You know? I don't know how to say it. I literally have tea that texted me like an hour ago. That she said wellness check, which is something I didn't invent, but Anna Marie, baby. Anna Marie. She's a sweetheart too. I have amazing people in my life. And it sucks because those people know Steph. They know Ink, they don't know Steph, you know? And that really sucks. Livy. She is flawless. It's been good. A busy bee, but buzzing my way through life. This, you know, when you're tired, but it's good kind of tired, not making sense. Hi, and munch. You want some? Good. I'm sorry about this, people. We sometimes need to upload. It's just insane because you had this little food for thought, right? And this morning, and also this is kind of crazy because this morning was very, very intellectual, and then we had the Good Place that was very emotional and just a genius show. So again, it's a case of I'm being in a position where I'm stimulated in a way that I haven't been stimulated in years. I just don't know what to do. you know. And then she was like, well, I literally felt bad because I felt like a crazy person again, trying to justify itself, right? And then at the same time, the idea that came from it are crazy, but at the same time, and she was talking about, are you the best version of yourself? Do you feel like you're the best version of yourself? And I was like, I don't know if I'm the best version of myself, because the reality is I believe in fate, which is kind of crazy because you have this concept, but then it's explained beautifully in The Good Place. And how your concept looks like shit, however, it's basically the same idea. There's multiverses, I believe. I believe there's multiple reality in life, where one, I'm a successful business owner with kids. There's one when I'm here, and I'm one that's living in your basement asking for change and smoking crack. You know? There's multiple Ink, and the nicest Ink is the one smoking crack, by the way. He's the nicest guy. He doesn't have much, but will give you the clothes off his back. They're stinky, they're full of holes, but will give them to you. And then you wonder that, right? And then you realize that what led you to be the person that you are past experience. A single experience that led you to do different choices, a single experience that led you to do a different thing is completely nonsensical because, for example, there's a version as simple as this. There's a version where everything happened the same, right? I'm having the same job, right? And I don't have that bully. That bully stops. After a while, he stops. Technically speaking, he can bully me as much as he wants until the 7th of May. Because the 7th of May we discover Twitch, and the 9th of May we start making content. If he stops the 7th of May, Ink is never created. All that work we did, never created. And then there's a concept that allows that, or allows. For example, right? I was thinking about it, and again, it's mostly some of the Good Place influence. But you look at it, right? And you look. I forgot how nice this one was. You look at it, and you're basically seeing, like, for example, Isaac Newton, who discovered gravity, right? It was an apple that fell upon his head, discovered gravity, right? There's an alternate reality where it doesn't make the discovery that day, and there's war in this country, so he goes to Cuba, or he goes to Cancun. And he goes under a tree. And it's a papaya. It's a papaya that falls upon his head. Whereas he come back, he has a theory right now, right? And his theory is based on a papaya. But a papaya is a fruit that's from another country. So people are calling him a crazy person. People think it's his theory isn't good because it's not apple, right? And then it's some sort of broken knowledge. So if you look at books like Mein Kampf, which is the diary of a person in history, has been banned from schools. And do I think that person is worthy of having a book? No. Our hiding truth is not even better you're doing a job of censoring everybody. The name Ink Vendetta is for V for Vendetta. You're censoring media. You're burning knowledge. You're burning knowledge. You're absolutely burning knowledge. There was this place where they used mercury as electricity. I don't remember what it was, but they talk about it in One Piece, and it's a real place. I finished this. The Chicago this morning is amazing. It is distinctively amazing. So with Isaac Newton discovering gravity, then it's people find his theory later on in a broken book, in a forgotten library. They find these hundreds of books, right, in a section that was caved in, and they find that book, and there's a lucky person that finds it and understand what he was trying to say, and he theorized the theory of gravity, and it's in the future of, I think, Newton, right? So the principle of gravity doesn't exist. It's because the principle of gravity doesn't exist, which is insane. Oh, my apologies. It's insane because this person will invent gravity, and will still end up having gravity. It just didn't happen that day, and it wasn't invented by the same person. It wasn't used as long as it's been used, but the simple fact of gravity still exists. It's not a machine. It's a concept of reality. It's a concept of reality. Just like saying fire will burn you. We're talking about the person for Mein Kampf, right? Funny thing about Mein Kampf is it was read by a guy called Charlie Chaplin. Might have heard of him. A great father of comedy. Charlie Chaplin was doing a lot of nude film, and he literally did a movie where he was playing this character. And kind of crazy, isn't it? So yeah, she asked me if I was a greater version of myself, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe the better version of myself is passing on. Maybe it died. I don't know. Or maybe it's gonna come one day, right? Or maybe the event I was supposed to go through to make me a better person went through and just left. Imagine, okay? You have this girlfriend. Let's take an example that's better. You have this girlfriend, right? And you're supposed to meet her at a party, okay? And you're sick. You don't go to that party. But she's your girlfriend. In faith, you're marrying that girl. And in faith, you are raising kids together. Because you didn't go to the party, you meet her a month later. And again, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to fall in love. You're going to have kids with her. You're going to marry her. However, in this reality, in the month, she met with her ex, and her ex told her he still likes her. So she's back with her ex, and now you lost that twin flame, not because you didn't choose to do something. Maybe the action I was supposed to commit to become that better person wasn't coming because I was afraid. I don't know. I have no clue. But she said something which was amazing. I always do things do or die. There's no in between. Either I do it or I don't do it at all. There's no in between. There's no trying. And that sucks, because this is not healthy, right? I was saying, she literally asked me, so if you made a lot of content last year, why aren't you making that content this year? I said, well, I'm afraid I'm going to get into burnout and depression, which is a traumatic response, and she understood that. I'm going to be saying the same thing to my mom, and she'll say, don't worry, you'll be okay, you know? But that's not about you'll be okay. I don't know. And the polite thing to say is you're gonna be okay. The right thing to say is gonna be okay. I don't know. But this morning was just phenomenal, and to have an appointment where I'm being told all of these, and it's a person that I don't really know, but it's a person that I kind of trust because she has a background, and it's not because. All of this I knew. The personality disorder traits, did I know about it? I knew I had some of the symptoms, and then I think that I have that as a sickness now. Am I in denial? I don't know. I literally created ink as a traumatic response. What if this traumatic What if the traumatism isn't healed? What if I'm a victim of mind rape and I haven't healed from it? And everything that we do mindfully, it's still a reminder of this accident. I don't know. I have no clue. And that is the scariest fucking thing. Because there's no answer. There's no answer. You know? I don't know. Now is a song. Every kiss. Corey Taylor, of course. Not without your life. This guy wore women's clothes and nobody ever made fun of him, which is insane because that's how much respect he has. So save your breath, I will not clear. I think I made it very clear. And we have a tournament tonight. No take that life to love. Was that supposed to be enough? I only wish you were my friend, so I could hurt you in the end. From being to be a saint. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway. Well, not that bad of a video. I thought it was going to be more chaotic. I thought it was going to be having a lot more to say, but it's rehearsed. We talked about this morning. You know? I went to the bank after I saw her because I had to deposit money for a bill. And, like a 7 my stone, and so was pity in my throne. Never needed help. You sold me out to save yourself. I had to rehearse. Went to the bank, right? And I gave her. She gave me some paper to fill out, right? So homework. And then I came in and I was like, you know what? This is great. This is great because I have something to talk about, right? Because again, getting that help is very new for me. And I thought I've lost them in the bank. And because I let them on the ATM. So what happened is I was long gone and I didn't go home right away. I was far. So I was thinking about, if I lose those papers, what does that mean? And of course my brain went to, if you lose those papers, somebody stole it. And the fact that somebody stole it isn't a big deal because there's no private information, there's nothing there. However, instead are there are honest. If I go back and fill it up a second time, it's gonna be completely different. Not because they're not honest, but because it's gonna be reflected, you know? This morning, having said all I said, you come back and you try to remember. It's hard. It's really hard. I don't know, people. I don't know. Anyway, do you know what I know? I love you. And I wish you a happy day, a good evening, a good night. I'll see you guys soon. Let's do the lovely, the good place. Thank you. I'm sorry, guys. It's a lot of thinking. You realize things and you haven't even thought about it, and you're like, okay, well, it's a possibility. So because it's a possibility, I should think about it. And because I should think about it, you realize that maybe you're not as confident as you think you are, or maybe you're not confident enough. Confident enough would be like, hey, fuck what those people think. I'm me, and that's enough, right? And I don't know. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. You save me up to save yourself. Deliver me into my faith. If I'm alone, I cannot hate. Learn the song to have you. Oh, my, nothing long ago. I only wish you were my friend. then I could hurt you in the end. I don't care what people think. Elizabeth Lucci, baby. Ooh. Next boy. Good. Need to watch a video, guys. Jerry, all your secrets in my skin. There's a camouflage. Worries and no rage. What you mean? I thought the coolest. Not this week, huh? Peer pressure? Nah. It's hair. It's bear. Thank you for being part of my life and all your splendor. A good thing to have a live around. Lovely, all alone. You need sugar daddy real quick. And to share you. I'll pray for that. Dear Father in heaven, get my girl high. Get my girl. Get my girl. Dear Father in heaven, get my girl high. I'll pray for that. You poor thing. Yes. You realize awesome you are, because you should. You should.
This is my friend.
That's really sweet, man. Thank you. I'm just doing it because I heard you make a mean tiramisu. Otherwise, I wouldn't. No cap. No cap. No cap. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
Accounts. Look at his weird house full of
Just doing it because I hear that you make
Once
a
I'm
bean.
ever
Come to Toronto. I'll book you something. On my way. On my way. Magic lyrics to my heart. As magic as. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? Wait, my fucking asshole. I got the wrong. I'll make you something. You feel like a plastic bag. Magic lyric to my heart as magic as. I feel like a plastic bag.
be quiet, you can
Okay. That's it. Heart is on over. Here's a key to my wishing. Start again. That's it. You stole my heart. Here's my bachelor's key. My scooter. Because we broke bitches. We broke bitches. Because we broke bitches. And half of my debt. 50-50 equality of sexes. Not cause wearing a strap on that you don't get. Not cause you're wearing a strap on that you don't get to pay bills around here. Pay bills around here. This ain't the 50s. This ain't the 50s, yo.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind,
I'm in
wanting to
the
start
bus.
again?
Otherwise,
Do you ever feel
I
don't know the rest,
would
but that's
kara-
that's as far as I can go. I'm
karaoke this shit out. You just got a night and let it shine. Just hold the night like the 4th of July. Cause Lizzie makes some banana bread. I think that she's straight capping. She got Ohio Riz. She's about to phantom tax. Axe. Skibbity. Oh, you got a skibbity. I just sang some brain rot. I think it goes something like that. I'm not sure, however. It's been a couple of hours since I listened to the song. You just got a night and let it shine. This whole the night. The night like the 4th of July. Cause Lily makes some banana bread. I think that she's straight capping. She got Ohio Riz. She's about to phantom tax. Axe. Skip. It's an invite, and I'm gonna call it the.
Je veux pretend that.
On va vraiment
Mais au fait, je
Shit out. You just got a night and let shine just hold the night
like the 4th of July. Cause Lily makes some banana bread. I think that she's straight cabin. She got Ohio Riz. She's about to phantom tax. Axe. Skippity. Oh, she got a skippity. I just sang some brain rot. I think it goes something like that. I'm not sure, however. It's been a couple of hours since I listened to the song.
After almost 23 years on the air, we're
Je ne veux pas t'entendre du tout. Tu n'as pas ma version. Je ne veux pas savoir. Tu comprends-tu? Tu peux-tu me respecter? Ben, qu'est-ce que je fasse? C'est ça que tu fais. Wow. Wow, non! Pas de wow! Il reste un beau sourire dans la cuisine. Parce qu'elle est tellement sarcastique quand elle parle. Hey, excuse-moi, Nat. Je pense qu'elle... Wow! Wow, non! Pas de wow! Il reste un beau sourire dans la cuisine. Parce qu'elle est tellement sarcastique quand elle parle. Hey, excuse-moi, Nat. Je pense qu'elle dit quand je souris pas, je
Mais
chie ma
c'est du bonbon, ça.
Je suis bien souriante, j'arrive pas à problème.
C'est du bonbon, ça.
C'est frustré parce que je m'entends. Rien que Charles, c'est tout.
For S, GT. You've been like a ghost. I've been from London to Evergreen. No check. Remind you all of the time. I look myself on the internet just to see what you'd find. I cut my own breath.
Je sais pas, y a-tu quelqu'un qui est mort ce soir? Y a-tu quelque chose qui s'est passé?
Y a-t-il quelque chose qu'on...
Excusez-moi.
Review. C'est ça. Yeah. I want your things in my room. I miss you. All of it. I don't know. Is she mad at me? I found myself on the internet. You make it look so. Jollibee baby. When you want me, I want your things in my room. I miss you all of the time. I'm so on the internet. Bruh. That came from the heart. Straight up heart, bro. Came from the heart, straight up. Do you need help? Hi. I don't understand that. Would you Yo. Little darling. Yeah. No. Dear Father in heaven, get my girl high. You all of the time. I watch myself on the internet just to see what you'd find. I want your things in my room. All of the time. You make it look so easy. Dude. Shit. Accepted. Yo. Viral, you know? You're adorbs. Tell me everything. How's school? How's the roomie? Yo. What are you? Cause watching Dexter, and I know I'll avoid leaving clues behind. And this remix is fire shit. You're adorbs. It's only Big Brothers. Breathe Yessie. Breathe Yessie, what the heck? Unholy things. Don't blink, it's your boy Yank. Because in walks are having a wonderful day. Somebody's listening to Candy Shop, which I gotta say, usually I don't like when people put their music too loud, but this time I'll be very, very cool with it. I got some great news. We have the computer on. We have little bites. which are delightful, I am going to be recapping The Good Place. Now, I know what you're saying, Ink. This is not the that's not the move, Brody. By the way, Brody is a cool name. Thank you for calling me Brody. Because yesterday you kind of gave up, right? I gotta say, yesterday I felt like the show was kind of caca. But today I'm watching it and I am amazed, and I finally remember why it was that good. Season 3 is gonna be straight up bussin'. So doesn't matter because right now where we are is we are with Derek. So the problem that I have right now is I don't remember where I stopped the review, and that's not true because I know exactly where we stopped. Season 2, episode 4, existential crisis. Now you know what's insane? I saw my social worker today, and we talked about existential crisis and identity crisis. So this is kind of, we have a tournament soon. Ew. Yeah, it's gonna be important. We have a tournament soon, so. Yeah, this is bad. We have a tournament soon, so I'm gonna have to do this. I have 35 minutes, 40 minutes to watch it, to do it. So it's not a big deal if we don't do it right away. I'll take you to the candy shop. I'll let you lick the lollipop. You gonna do the 1-2 stop. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Dumpling shit. Funny thing is, when I upload, you're gonna hear the intro, and when you hear the intro, the same intro as this one. Should we change the intro? I shall think not. Is it right? My mom bought these yesterday, and they're bussin'. They are straight up bussin'. Something I heard my neighbor, my 87 years old, saying. So, since she's the coolest kid on the block, I'm gonna be copying her. Digital Crisis is actually pretty good. We have the whole thing, which, do we trust Michael or not, right? Now, this is the cool thing because a reason for them to trust Michael, and again, I think I'm oversaturated with the show, but it's so freaking good, because a good reason to trust Michael is if he follows shitty courses. Now, if he follows shitty courses, it will be more trustworthy. Now we're not sure. What is super cool is we have Vicky, who kind of fucks over Michael. And it's like, yo, and this is my neighborhood right now. This is super cool because, first of all, to betray Michael betrayed them. And I think that Michael knew that the neighborhood didn't work and there's no saving it. So I think that he's okay with her taking over because it will lead into failure. This is really good. We have the courses of shitty. Now, what I will say is that we did trade something for something else. We traded Michael for Jason that took the course. Now, am I okay with this? Yes and no. Do I prefer Michael as a character? Absolutely. However, if you're trading off, then you're making the whole point of Jason taking the course completely useless. We're missing half. So cool. By the way, I was lacking motivation yesterday. Oh, I got a text. We have it back. This is so good. Ink, stop it, bro. So, basically what's going on is that Michael doesn't listen to the course. He doesn't care because he doesn't see the use of shitty courses. However, Michael realized that this is kind of cool because Eleanor's like, yo, you understand that the guy doesn't care about what you're saying, right? It's kind of important because realizing that Michael doesn't care about the course makes them realize, okay, well, why doesn't he care? Because he's immortal being, so he won't die. So there's no true consequences to him dying. I'll eat a whole box of that. That was good. Are you uploading? You're uploading. So, if Michael can realize what it is to be dying, he would care. We have Tahani and Jason. Tahani and Jason will ultimately lead in a love story. Now, here's the reason, one of the reasons why this is such a good time. This is one of the reasons why there's such a bad time, okay? So, huge spoiler. Why is it so good is because Michael realized that there's no way to change who they are as people in a good place. If there were bad people when they died, they're bad people when they died. So then Michael, he kind of revives them. So, well, give him more time. If you didn't die that day, would you solve your problem? So he does that. So Tahani and Jason is a dumb plot. Why? Because it's a plot that's made to, okay, so the whole thing between Tahani and Janet is three things. Getting closer, shitty closer to Eleanor. I actually really like Tahani characters. At the end, I really like her. Second, it is a plot to okay, well, to make Janet mad. Janet's what? Mad? Why is that important? Janet is impartial. Michael might betray us. Janet literally can't. If she cannot betray us, there's no point. Right? And the third plot is you want to have Janet and Jason do something. And at the same time, it's kind of cool because, yes, putting them together was a plot to torture them both. However, what if it was something that was meant to happen? It was meant to happen. Also, we had a really good talk this morning, so my brain is stimulated, which is possibly why I love the show so much right now. Shitty and Eleanor convince Michael that, and this is super cool. This is super cool because Michael cannot die, right? Cannot die. But then Eleanor, and she's a bitch for that. She will make him realize that he might not be able to die physically, but he will be able to die in a way. So, for example, if the neighborhood doesn't work, all of his life work serves no purpose. If his life serves no purposes, then what was the point of it, right? And because what was the point of it, then you're able to ask the following question. What was the point of your life, right? So because that, Michael gets a chill crisis. This is kind of cool because he'll do or have a midlife crisis, which is cool because this is why Vicky doesn't stop trusting Michael. Okay, well, this is weird. And I gotta say, the writing of the show is amazing. There's a lot of part that I don't appreciate or I don't fall in love with, but when it's good, the show is great. We literally have a wire on both phones. Black and red. Black and yellow, black and yellow. I'm in a good mood today. Chatting up two girls. So yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Shitty ask Michael, listen, you're gonna die if what's his name? The guy who plays Kevin. If Sean realizes what you're doing, it'll kill you, right? So, and this is the craziest thing. Michael is in a worse position that he is. He possibly never had to face adversity, but he is in a bad position. Either he's helping Shitty and he's running away, or he is with Vicky, and Vicky will betray him. In both cases, he ends up being tortured, which is kind of cool. Because it gives him a reason. You got more of Eleanor past about why she feels shitty. And this is super cool because this is basically explaining Eleanor about death in herself. And this is super nice for a couple of reasons. The first reason why this is nice is because Eleanor is possibly the one that's most similar to Mindy Sinclair, but also the most similar to, she's the baddest out of the four, the worst person. So we see flashback of her realizing that her life is shit. For example, we have a flashback of her mom telling her that her dog is dead and that she has to get over it because it's part of life. We have another scene where her father dies, and you realize that the mom and her father dies, the mom is traumatic. Then you realize that a lot of the growth that Eleanor has to do is because the parents were shitty and her mom is still being shitty. See, at the same thing, your growth is all a question of experiences. You live experiences, you take steps. Her mom being so shitty is the reason why she cannot take it further steps ahead. Because she cannot take it further steps ahead, she's stuck in the same position all the time. So, for example, she goes to their father's funeral, her father was a crappy person, And this is super cool because she doesn't care as far dead. She doesn't care at all. Then she goes to see a store, and she sees a toothbrush stand where there's two parents and there's two kids. And she starts crying because she's like, the two toothbrushes are washing over the toothbrush. So this is actually pretty cool. Why? Because it's her realizing that her life was kind of meaningless, and there's just more to life than being a cunt, like a better word. We got Jason and Tahani. They're organizing a party, which is super, super, super cool. Because again, we are pretending like everything is okay. Now this is also nice because we have Vicky throwing a party, and we have Tahani throwing a party. Really speaking, Tahani and Vicky are very similar. Tahani's whole point is to prove that she is better than her sister. Vicky's whole point is she's proving that she's better than Michael. That way she get the promotion that she feel like she deserves. Michael has a midlife crisis. Kind of cool. So the coolest thing that he does is he writes in Chinese kanji, Japan, which I thought was hilarious. It's it's just nuts to do. But then they're pinpointing that, yo, this is bad. Because Shidi says the existential crisis is a great thing. Because you're asking yourself, hey, did my life have meaning? The midlife crisis is horrible because you're saying, okay, well, I'm at the midlife when it's time to change right now. You might be able to save somebody through trauma or fear, but you won't be able to save somebody that wants to discover life or live his life fully. See, and at this point, this is also super important for the character of Michael, because the character of Michael is facing retirement. He's facing inevitable failure, which will lead to his death. And because he's feeling that, he's like, okay, well, I have this amount of time before I'm tortured. Let's just enjoy ourselves, you know? But that was cool. That was cool. And I actually love the character of Michael, but Janet also is super cool. Janet takes more time to appreciate than Michael, but still. Now, there's a scene, the next scene is something I absolutely love. But Eleanor convincing Michael to do the course of Shitty. And this is cool because Eleanor, although much better thanks to Shitty courses, she's still sort of a bad person. So this is, I'm evolved enough to see the importance and to tell people how important it is to be a good person versus what I used to be. And she also tells Michael about death and how it's supposed to be okay. See, in this sense, it's also very healing because we saw how her mom approached poorly the fact that death is something. But then she gave the advice that she wished she had, which is kind of cool, you know? Such a great show. I'm sorry that I gave up yesterday. And Kristen Bell, what a gorgeous lady. You know? Then we have Tahani being super cool. And this is a scene that I love. You see Shitty being there with books, right? And realizing that this is insane. Because this is her moment to shine. And you see how much she grew, but how much she's able to teach, right? And you just gave her a chance. Just amazing. Just amazing. Honestly, where I am, the show to me, I felt pointless. But where I am, it's so meaningful that I'm willing to make sacrifices. Because I'm willing to watch the whole show. I'm so fucking happy about it. You know? We got Tahani and Jason. And this is super cool because this is the first time where I actually kind of love Jason. Jason talking with Tahani and she says, I feel like a failure because of Vicky. I feel like whatever I do, it's not meaningful. He's like, what are you talking about? You're nice to me. I like you because you're nice to me. And you're the nicest person to me here. You're the only one that acknowledged my feeling, which is something we see. And at the end, Jason and Tahani bone. So why is that important? Because Jason married Janet because she cared about him. And Tahani shows him, so we know that Jason is... At the same time, it's so stupid because it makes so much sense. We establish exactly what character is Jason and what character is Tahani. Jason gets the care that he wants as a child from Tahani, and Tahani gets the recognition that she wants to. She's a child. Jason doesn't care about his sister; he cares about her, and this is super nice. So. It's super, 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 super nice. Because now we have Michael that's more open about it, and this is super cool because the way it ends is Michael's still a shitty person. He's still very shitty, but he's willing to become a better person, and this is how it should end. It should end with the fact that, okay, well, you know what? Michael was shitty, but he's on the way to redemption. And episode 5, which is possibly my favorite episode. Why? Is the trolley dilemma. So the trolley dilemma is one of the biggest questions when it comes to moral, right? And why it's super cool is because you see Eleanor on the grave path. You see Janet and Jason on the grave path. You see Michael willing to take a chance. But this episode is about Chidi. So Chidi used the tramway example as a person. Basically what he says is you have a chance between saving 5 people and 1 person. Who do you end up choosing? Which is super, super, super cool because it is, like, for example, it is a good question. For example, if you know the person that you're supposed to save, you save 5 strangers, you save the person that you love, right? And then this, I gotta say, it blew my mind because he said, okay, well, guess what? And what is cool here is Jason and Tahani are part of the thing. They're part of the course. Why I like this episode a lot is because it's a problem for Chidi. It's not a problem for Michael. It's not a problem for Eleanor. So I thought it was really nice that they put some problematics for Chidi because Chidi so far has been the character that has the less, sadly, growth. Okay, so why do I feel that Chidi has less growth? Because the whole thing is about becoming a better person. Chidi being the one closest to becoming a better person doesn't have to improve as much as Tahani, as Jason, as Eleanor do, as Michael do. So he's in a position where it doesn't have to change or improve as much, which means that he doesn't have to put in as much effort to change compared to the others. Because they're putting effort to change, and we want this to be interesting, we have to see changes and changes and changes and changes to picture that, okay, well, what Chidi is doing is working. And this is the important. There's no this, no. So this is super cool. So you talk about the trolley problem, right? And the trolley problem evolves because he's like, this is so fucking cool. This is so fucking cool. He said, okay, well, there's 5 people that need organ transplant. You can choose to kill 1 person and put the organ in 5 people. You kill 1 person and you save 5. And then Jason's like, it's not the same. And she's like, what do you mean it's not the same? You're killing 5 people, you're killing 1 person to save 5. Now, the principle of this is the greater good. How far am I willing to go for the greater good? Which is great because the greater good is going to war to save my country but risking my life. Is my life more important than the life of my country? Which is something like that, right? So what you're saying is also a good example. However, it is different, in my opinion. Now, he does ask the question of why it's not different. The people on the trolley, there's no escape. They're going to die anyway. The people in the hospital, you have to find a person that's willing to do it. Somebody that's willingly giving their organ to save 5 other people. And that's different. But it's a great example. Now, Michael, when he's not nice, he has to say, humans are good, which is super cool. Now, this is really nice because the whole episode is Michael not understanding, but he's ending up torturing Chidi, which is so fucking cool. Now, here's the bummer. So the trolley is, again, there's a tramway, there's a train coming. You can switch the lever. On one side is 1 person, on the side is 5 people, right? And then what you're doing is, okay, well, I want to save 5 people. Okay, but you know this person. I still want to save 5 people. Okay, but this person is your parents or somebody that you love, your girlfriend. You know? This is bad. Why is that bad? Because Chidi cannot take an answer. The whole thing is about Chidi not taking a decision and torturing Chidi, which is kind of cool. So we have, and this is also nice because it's the 4 characters. You got Tahani and Jason, which are super, super, super important this episode. So they're sleeping around, and Jason is super good with the idea. Tahani is a bit ashamed because it's like Jason doesn't have any stature. So if I'm dating Jason, people are going to think that I lower myself for a standard. And there's something wrong with me. Jason is happy about the relationship. Tahani is reserved because she feels like she's settling down. Which, in this case, Jason has been a better person to her than anybody in this case, Jason has been a better person to her than even Chidi, which is the better person in the neighborhood. You know? Eleanor asked questions. She's like, okay, well, why are you guys together so much? And then Tahani's like, oh my god, our secret is endangered. Eleanor's no. And just like, what's the problem if she knows? Who cares? Who gives a shit? And Tahani's like, yeah, I do. So this is super cool. we got Eleanor and Shitty, and this is super nice because Eleanor and Shitty are both of them. They grew from this experience. They become better person, etc., etc., etc. The question is Eleanor far enough to be able to learn on her own? For example, right, with Michael is a newer student, and we had Eleanor able to give him a couple of advice, which is great. However, it's begging to ask a question. If something was to happen to Shitty, would Eleanor be okay? We know she's improving, and the fact that we have a new student, which is Michael, remind us of how much she improved. And Shitty is just lost because he's like, I don't know if I can help him. You know? It's tough. So we have this Janet. Give me a sec. And it's super cool. Shitty, he makes her raps to teach, and that's actually a good rap. So we got Janet. Tahani and Jason want to see Janet because she's impartial. So she doesn't want people to know that she's dating Janet. And Janet is obligated by her own rules to not talk about our relationship problem. This is super cool. And this is also nice because by Shitty teaching Michael, it's a lot. How do I say this? It's a lot better. Eleanor. For example, right now we're talking about Les Miserables. Les Miserables is a guy that was prosecuted his whole life for something crime committed. The crime committed is he stole a loaf of bread for his starving family, you know? So then he tortured his whole life, and then you wonder at the end of the movie, what the movie is supposed to teach you, Les Miserables, did he deserve all that, right? So Michael doesn't understand it. Michael is far from doing this. And Michael will question Shitty, like, hey, are you so much better than me? We got Tahani and Jason, right, who are dating. Ultimately speaking, this is unimportant. Because ultimately speaking, it's some sort of advice. But at the same time, it's not the most important because they don't end up together, first of all. And second of all, it's not like you were gonna go, well, I don't remember. They might end up together, which will be important. For now, it's not important. So Janet, why is that important? Because Janet is starting to have glitches. She loses a thumb. She has a lot of glitches. And this is introducing the theory or the concept that Janet is not okay with the relationship between Jason and Tahani. So she's glitching, which means that she has feeling, which she has is soul. You see Janet as this robot. And then because she has a feeling that are making her malfunction, that means that she has feeling, which means that the sentient being, which means we shouldn't kill her if something was to happen, which is kind of cool. But we didn't have that with Janet yet. Let's go. Perfect. So now with Shitty, Michael gets Shitty to drive the tramway, right? And do the choices. Now this is super cool. This is super cool. So now, this is a very good explanation. So they're showing the numbers. See, there's 5 workers and 1 worker. And they ask Shitty, what do you choose to save, right? And he tells Shitty to make a choice, but you cannot make a choice. So basically what happened is... and he ends up doing what? He ends up killing the 5 of them, which is the wrong choices. Is that the right choices though? I don't know. So then, they redo the same exercise, but guess what? This time, it's a friend. It's a friend of... Look at this. This is a Tom, guys. This is Tom. This is how well this show is made. She's malfunctioning, which is mean that this is a problem, which the problem ends up being Jason. Then we had the same trolley problem, but this time it's his friend. Shitty friend. And it's a friend with the boots, so it's kind of funny. It's kind of really funny. So then Michael goes in, and he tells Shitty, okay, well, this is the other problem. We have 5 people that need transplants, but guess what? You have to kill Eleanor, which you're in love with. If you kill Eleanor, she has all the organ that you need. Now this is super cool. So Shitty says no. And Shitty, amazingly, I'm so blown away, goes in and said, no, I have a Hippocratic oath. I will not harm people. This is in the oath that I took as a doctor. So technically speaking, it's not my choice. It's the choice of the order of doctors. So Michael said, okay, well, you have to tell people. And this is super cool because there's in the people that you have to tell, it is so fucking cool because there's a kid and she says, my father got in an accident, which is a man driving a trolley. That was shitty. That hurt him. This is funny. Eleanor's like, you're full of shit, Michael. You're trying to torture Shitty again, which is super funny. Then Shitty's like, okay, well, guess what? And then this is a super, super important moment for Shitty, right? Super important moment for Shitty because he tells Michael, like, no, you're done. You're not going to my class anymore. You're not welcome in my class anymore. I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be friend with you. And this is the first time that we see Michael angry at somebody, except for Eleanor in the first couple of episodes, right? Eleanor, however, we see a huge growth from her. She's literally talking about how she's sorry because Michael shit the class, and because he's a bad student, she feels responsible. She feels responsible because she introduced him to Shitty, which ultimately led him to get hurt. So she feels responsible for the hurt because she was behind the first contact, right? But she wasn't, but the sentiment is nice. It's super understandable. So Eleanor goes in and faces the situation, which is kind of nice. It's super nice because the way that she does, right? The way that she does is she's like, you know what? You and I are the same. I wouldn't apologize, but it's up to you. So then this is kind of crazy because it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? However, it makes all the sense in the world. She's basically asking him to the trolley choices. On one road, you're hurting Shitty's feeling. On the other road, you're saving yourself. Asking him, do you want to keep torturing people or do you want to actually be a nice guy? And she asking him to make a choice. And then for Shitty, who's on a tramway, if Michael saved him, it is kind of nice. I gotta say. And the whole thing is about making the right choices. Are you hurting people for the greater good? Michael has a choice. If he apologizes to Shitty, he saved 5 people. Or it can be in his own head. So it's kind of nice.
Napoleon Eleanor.
And it's kind of cool because Eleanor still a good character. She understands why he's acting like that, because she used to be like that. And then she talks about how she understands how she feels. And what I love about the scene is Eleanor doesn't say, do it for me. She just says like, yo, let's fucking do it. So this is funny. Michael feels bad, so he ends up giving gifts to everybody, which is a nice gesture. He gives Tahani a diamond, he gives Jason a balloon, which is Jason Pop, and he gives Eleanor a huge shrimp, unlimited shrimp things. He gives Shitty a book from one of his favorites, ethic forefather, but it has never been published, right? And everybody's like super happy about what Michael gave. Shitty says, you know what, I don't want you to get this is a bribe and I'll not take it. If I take this bribe, I'm basically saying that it's okay to treat me like shit, and I don't think it's okay to treat me like shit. So this is huge because then Michael's like, okay, well, what do you want? And Shitty's like, I want an apology, and I want a real apologies. So this is the course that Michael did. It doesn't matter how little Michael cared about the course. It doesn't matter how little Michael cared about the trolley problem. All that matters is that at the end, he was able to apologize sincerely to Shitty because he knew deep down that what he did was not cool. So this is the growth we're talking about. Because there is some growth.
I fear this neighborhood is in danger.
Because there's a problem. And this is so cool. This is so fucking cool. Because this is the proof that they need. This is the proof that they needed. They need Michael to show that he was willing to help them. That he wouldn't betray him. This is the show of humanity that they needed to say, you know what? He does care. Maybe he won't betray us. So now we have Janet malfunctioning. Malfunctioning because Tahani and Jason asked her to be there to give her couple counseling. However, she's malfunctioning and Michael is aware of that. I have time for another episode. After that, I have to do the tournament. Episode 6, Janet and Michael. So the flashback in this one are super cool because we're seeing how Michael basically stole Janet to do his bidding. Now, why is that such a good scene? It's a great scene because, and this is such a good episode. Again, it's a great scene because this is the action of evil Michael, and now we're getting a reality of this is good Michael. So we're getting her how to steal. You got Michael who's bragging about the good Janet. Now, this is kind of important.
In nature, they keep their Janets in a loop.
This is important because he basically lied to her. Michael tells Janet that it's gonna be a good place because she's a good Janet. There's a bad Janet, there's a good Janet. So basically, what he's telling her is like, I'm gonna use a good Janet to make the neighborhood a good place, not a perfect place, but a good place. And it's kind of cool because we see in the past that Michael is kind of using Janet, right? And then Michael possibly has some remorse, but it's more so like, no, this won't work. This is not gonna. You're not gonna be helpful to me. We see a flashback, right? And this is so cool. This is so cool because what he does, and this is kind of nice because we know this from the show. So he says the good place. He creates a neighborhood. It's like, you know what? There's something just missing. There's something here that's missing. I don't know what it is. It's missing, and he has all of those pudding places. And then Janet says, "What about frozen yogurt?" And he's like, "This is genius." So eat it. And he says, "This is good. This is not great. It's just good," which is why it's perfect. So because of that, they really bond. So the whole time, there's actually a really nice scene. It's a really nice scene because you truly see how Michael is changing as a person. So Michael will try to figure out how Janet works. So he sees the chapter 20, by the way. He sees the problem and says, okay, well, what could be the problem? So you're lying to yourself, right? And this is insane because he realizes that she's lied to herself, and because he lied to her, she's malfunctioning, which is not true. But Michael does feel bad about it. Michael does really feel bad about it. Which is also important. However, then we realize that Janet problems are with Jason and Tahani. Now, this is also important because Michael is the only one that has knowledge over all timelines. So we do because we're a watcher of the show, but nobody else in the show knows that. So we remember in the first timeline, Jason and Tahani and Janet ended up together, married. So they're saying that they're still feeling for Jason. So he's like, okay, well, guess what? This is why you're malfunctioning, right? So it gives advice. The advice of Michael is like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here. And it's Eleanor that comes in and says, you know what? I don't understand what you need. You need a rebound guy, which will ultimately lead her to create Derek, which is the next episode. Derek is not a great episode, but still, there's a great purpose for Derek. Okay, that's good.
No, that is impossible.
I love this.
When was the first?
See, the first glitch was always with Tahani and Jason. So this old episode is kind of nice. Now we're seeing we're getting Shitty to be tortured. It's nice because Janet and Michael are now part of the plan, and we're seeing how everybody else reacts. I don't remember much of this episode though.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's.
Watch it today, but yeah, I watched it so much today.
You're my friend.
That's super sweet. That is super sweet. Michael, why is that such a sweet episode? Is because Michael did improve himself. He did improve himself, and he did become a better person. So then the old Michael wouldn't have a problem with rebooting Janet, right? And Janet's like, I cannot deal with this problem. And then this asks a bigger question, which is assisted living. Do you want somebody if you're hurting, right? Are you pro euthanasia or no? Janet said, I'm suffering, please kill me. And Michael says, I can't, you're my friend, I don't want to kill you. And this is sweet because this is an act of wanting to help Janet. And you know what's insane? He doesn't have to be mad at, he doesn't have to be nice to Shitty, Eleanor, Tahani, and Janu, or Jason. You only have to be nice to Janet because he feels responsible. So this is a huge growth. Why? Because we just saw Eleanor feel bad for Shitty because she introduced Michael to the course. This is what it is. So we have Eleanor that says, listen, you need to have a rebound. And this is the advice that she's going to follow. So she creates Derek. And the craziest thing with her creating Derek is that she's not supposed to do that. It's a part of her. This is really cool because he's the actor of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which makes it, I think, the third one to be, and they both show. They're both produced by Formulon. So possibly because of that.
Eleanor said that to forget about Jason, I should.
Derek is super cool because, again, it's a mess, and she's not supposed to create him, and she kind of share power with Derek, between her and Derek.
Jason.
There you go. So I'm gonna stop here, and we're gonna do the tournament for the tower, which means I'm gonna be back in about 20 minutes. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Good. Was petrified. Oh la la. Cassie. Que ça? Tu... Je vais me faire, holy shit. I slit my own throat just to see if you warn me. You're using too much of your throat, bro. I want your things in my room. Good. Jacob, Martin, Julian, possibly. Just to warn me. Yeah. I want your things in my room. I miss you all of the time. Trailer. Our voice.
We should do up your resume sometime. Squash pecker.
Blueberry pecker. You were into strawberry picking too, were you?
Car wash. Wash bay attendant.
You worked in that apple field down in the fucking valley for a while picking. See, why don't you, like, bring some of this shit to us, man? Blueberries are good for you. And actually, I got some apples in my bag. I'll give you some. All right, thank you. Thanks.
See, what would you put on your resume instead of just squash pecker blueberry? You could make it sound
More technical.
I mean, I fucking live.
does this always come with welcome to Park Avenue? This is a hard thing. I didn't think.
I don't like Terry Dance for one simple reason. They really will. It's nice some guys what they say.
Unreal.
Really?
You know what? Right, like before the show,
Yeah.
they have a gases you know already, but you might cook.
Yeah, might be something in there, man. Let's go.
Prison ramen. Look at this one. True facts that sound like bullshit.
Sounds like a good one.
I thought Rick would enjoy that.
Prison ramen. Puppies. The puppy. Mm. 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 I feel like I know him. Not from The Wire though. Nope. Just turned on me. Just do one man. Yeah. No.
Did you actually drink his pee?
No, I would never drink someone's pee.
Did you enjoy working with Dax?
Yes, it was an amazing experience.
Will you continue to see each other even though the visualization is over?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Are you still insecure about your body?
I don't think so. I think that
Yes, I know. Honey. Cool. I want your things in my room. I miss you all of the time. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to our show. Guys, doing well, having a wonderful day on this on this Wednesday. It is 7:58, which means we are a minute and a half away from the limit of doing the tournament. However, I got a surprise for you guys. We are gonna make we're gonna make the tournament. We made the last one, which is kind of important because well, today is Wednesday, like the show on Netflix. Oh shit! No, you're fucking up, dude. You're fucking up. You see, this is the problem. Sometimes I do it very fast, sometimes I do it very slow. I have to wait last seconds. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a tournament together. Are you down for that? Would that be something that you'd be down for? So if you love me, let me go. Singing a lot of Slipknot today. 45 seconds. This is how we do it. So again, super simple. We're just gonna be having some fun doing tournaments. We'll be focusing on the resistance. When the resistance is done, we'll start doing because what I observe with the Tower Talk. So by the way, 24th September 25. You see this shit? This is gorgeous, and this is flawless. The problem that I find that I have with I'm just gonna get myself a little snack, if you don't mind. we're gonna get ourselves. Have to be careful because there's wires. There's wires because we're charging the phone. So I've noticed with the tower, what I do is I talk a lot, and this is why the resistance die right away. Now let's remind ourselves that resistance last time didn't really have some good results. So what we're gonna do this time is we're gonna be focusing on actually true playthrough. The first playthrough is of course resistance, because I'm noticing that the resistance is the first to die. However, what am I surprised about? And this is kind of a classic because I'm noticing that the sword die second position. So what I think that is because of course we have next to no health, right? Now what is cool with that is because I see the shield and the sword as one of the same entity. They're completely different playthrough, but they feel similar because again they were made 2 days apart. We're gonna have another playthrough, by the way. With how am I feeling about the silver? I do feel really good about it for a couple of reasons. What is the first reason? Put some music. Let's put some music if you don't mind. The first reason why I feel very confident about it is we improved a lot. Last time we did that tournament, we were still in tier 3. Now we are in tier 5, so it's definitely different, which is a good thing. Gonna put some music. I still wish we did better with the sword because the sword feels very different. And again, it's kind of cool because most of these tournaments will have the same like what should I call it, heat level, right? And some of them are going to be better for. We want to check. You see, I can actually take like I don't have to super focus on it. We're already at tier 20, at wave 20, which beats what we used to do. So the heat sometimes works for one playthrough or the others. Also, the later on the Resistance Reborn is going to be invincible almost because it's a carbon copy of the crown. But the crown we bought some things, and the Resistance we're not going to buy anything. Also, I didn't mention that I was going to think about making another playthrough, and that playthrough is going to be the 5th playthrough. Is going to be the no communication. We're talking about no comments. We're talking about no talking. We're talking about tower talk, which is a video for every single tower, but next to no talking with this. So, and because we're going to be doing a 5th playthrough, it's going to be a super special playthrough because we're going to be let it go when we sleep, and when we're going to go to class or we're going to work, we're going to have it in the background, so you're going to be able to hear the courses and shit like that. So that's going to be important. Oh, we're almost dead. My mother, tell my father, I've done the best I can. Did my best. I did my best. We are 28. I'm curious to see how good we did last time. We did max wave last time was 25. I did the best I can. There's nothing I could have changed. 20 diamonds. It's a shame because right now what we have is $200. We're gonna do the ad because we need to do an ad for every single day, because of the event. We did no calm. It would be super nice because it's gonna be complete days of just listening to the same song. Why haven't I done that before? So with the tower, which is kind of complex, we're gonna talk about it when I did a playthrough, of course. What is kind of complex is that it's such a game where I play a lot. I couldn't be talking before. Some of those days we do 14 hours of the tower. Disappear somewhere in the stratosphere. Tell my mother, tell my father, I have done the best I can to make them realize this is my life. I hope they understand. I'm not angry, I'm just saying. Sometimes goodbye is the second chance. Super good. The next meter we don't really need it. The one I want is Cathode Ray Tube, because it's the shizzle. I'm gonna buy 2 cards, Slow Aura and Slow Aura times 2. What are the chances? What are the chances? So yeah, so the no comments would be good. The reason why I didn't do it is because if there's no comments, there's no sound, there's music, but I get copyrighted. However, it's a copyright that doesn't affect the channel. So you just get the ad revenue of the video. I don't make ad revenue. So yeah. I just didn't like having a video out there with so much in the background, you know? For example, this word itself is 1,000 part. Imagine having 1,000 part playthrough of literal months, copyrighted because of songs. This is kind of nuts, right? What I think I'm gonna do, and again, this is kind of crazy, but I'm gonna do I could actually do a no comments and just put music in the background. And the music is gonna be Netflix, because Netflix, they have no copyright. But then I believe, I don't know if I do it. Because 1,000 parts of my videos must have worked to get all my ad revenue or future ad revenue got. I'm not super done with that. The music is good though. We'll do the first 10 parts. Go. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, nothing else. It's going well. The playthrough. Like I said, Sword is doing the best because what we're doing right now is kind of fun. Shield is doing also amazing because we're almost done with the labs, which is super important. Next we have what? Next we have no, hold you high and still your pain, 'cause I'm broken when I'm low on some and I don't feel right. Because they're all 4 playthroughs right now are dividends on the lab. I could do a lot more with Resistance Reborn. I could do a lot more. I could have way more fun with the playthrough that I'm having right now. However, there is a price to it. And the price to it is doing a lab that I don't want to do right away. Because what I want to do is, for now, Tier 1 is phenomenal. Tier 2 is even better. Tier 2 we're doing almost a milli every single time. So what I'm going to do is I'm possibly going to be waiting until we have all my workshop bought. And gonna have all my workshop bots, because I'm doing a level. We still have to buy the wall and Deadify. It'd be super important, but at the same time, it's not that important because all we're doing is upgrading all the stats. So we're not talking about upgrading all the stats. We're not upgrading attack or defense. We're upgrading defense percentage. We torn damage, lifesteal, shockwave, orbs, landmine. For attack, we're upgrading speed, range, critical factor. We're upgrading bounce shot, rapid fire, multi-shot. So we're upgrading. The rest for damage, health regen, and defense absolute, I'll leave them next to nothing. Well, next to nothing. What we do have on it, right? That way, when I do the free level up, we still have something. But yeah, that's the plan. We just finished something that's great, and something that's great is the fact that all of my utility upgrades, all of my utility free upgrades are meaningful because they're putting themselves in package chance, package max, and package recovery rate. So there you go. So what we're doing is we're waiting for the labs. But for Resistance, as long as I'm working on the workshop, I'm really upgrading. I'm gonna start doing the labs, and I'm gonna be doing labs I really want to do. I really want to do flame bots. I really want to do flame bots lower cooldown, because flame bots, we use it a lot, and I have really important stuff for the flame bot. For example, the mods that we have is double damage for the bots. So right away, even if we don't have that much, we're still doing a lot of damage. And that's pretty much it. Now what we're gonna do, the second part of this video is reading the guild chat, because we haven't read the guild chat in so freaking long. I got a text, cause I'm broken, when lonesome. Okay, so we got Ippy, tier 4, nice, I got the 12 finally the past week. Okay, Falcon better. So I'm writing this on the 100 way below my max on tier 1. 2000, I haven't used second win yet. Uza, so close. Got to wave 400. Just had my best winning performance. Got 100. So people talking about their... I'm gonna be honest, this chat is more active than the other chat. They're talking about the progress, which is great. Phone cut for cooldown on GT is insane. I am at 136. My GT, okay. Does anyone have a glitch where GT is activate? Okay. It's like, it's just a visual bug. I have it also. Okay. No, and a bit of glitch this week. I can guarantee 25 contribution this week. I will try my best. I have to answer this. Lapland, I got 1000. What did the Ray enemy do? I see them every so often. The higher wave. Got down Ray enemy. Should I go perma poison swamp? Ooh, perma poison swamp's good. Speed reduction would help you more upfront. It's crucial for legend. Need one more new model for threshold. Thanks. Damage reduction or skip. Mine is level 20. I did it, guys. Wave. Relic unlock. Nice. That first tier complete relic feels nice. Keep going. Someone in Reddit suggests for me to try BHD and dumping some coin to free up what? See, this is really the tower, which is very technical. For me, this is a game that I'm enjoying playing as a time waster, right? So it's complex. Good. So the squad is doing really well, which I'm happy for. Let's see if we have the living like a blind man. Self of feeling, and this is how you remind me. I am the lowest. I am the lowest contribution. Shit. And now I'm gonna be reading my second guild. I'm a bit more worried about reading it because I'm nearly it's not like you say sorry. It's not my guild. The other one, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm the leader. I'm the officer. Hard work breaking and wrong. I've been down. We got 2 hours for the next one. Okay, so let's go with this one, guild. And are we having fun yet? Yo. Okay. So we have, it's super cool because I'm seeing a chrono, I think it's me. If you have the gem, I say go for it. You can experiment and decide which is better for build. Nice. Golden Tower and Death, Black Hole, Chrono, ultimate lineup. Now I can finally start saving for Spotlight. I didn't get this far without those things sync law. I've been syncing them before, it's just like getting to them to 4 minutes. And Black at 2 minutes was my main goal. Syncing them, okay? Hey, do you have, okay, mass in this game? Never mind, I figured it out. No ID. Thanks for having me. Welcome, Luap. Mass, I believe, is how resistant to knockback they are. Good, perfect. Yeah, yo. No. I'm always worried about dropping something. Because I'm a clumsy person, so I'm always worried. There's nothing to worry about, dude. You're good. You're excellent. I'm a bit worried about my class in the rank. I don't want to be stuck in silver for the longest of times. Now at position 20, which will give me a 45 gem and 14 stone. I did what last week? Rank 11? Wait a second. This is how you remind me of what I really am. Rank 11 was what? You got so much more for... Okay, wow. We did so much worse than the last time. But I swear to God, I tried my best. I don't know what's going on. We'll have the wall. Forever you're the hard work breaking, and I've been wrong. I've been down. I feel bad because I'm letting my guild a bit down because we're so busy with the new build. And then I'm gonna do the same thing in 3 months for the what? having fun, yeah. Yeah. And I had a thick playthrough. Again, the work is gonna be super nice. Busy when I'm working, otherwise completely noiseless. And I'm gonna be finding a place where I'm gonna get copyright. I wanna see if lo-fi music playlist is copyright free. Because lo-fi could be really cool. Why does it look like shit? Look how much it looks like shit, dude. This is kind of disgusting. What is going on with this one? No, it's good. Yeah, it looks really good.
Did we officially give him an army salute?
Which is weird. I don't know why that one was so disgusting. Let's see if lo-fi girl, lo-fi playlist copyright free. No copyright. We could do the whole day. I could do the whole day. There's no copyright. Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, but I'm not gonna be able to do it because we're back at golden. Nice. Lo-fi geek. Okay, cool. Yeah, so probably gonna be ending the video. I thought I would be able to do all of them, but they're all one tier lower, so fuck that. Yes, I swear a lot. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Okay, go. I don't care about your music, your guitar solos. Sorry, dude. Okay, good. Don't blink, it's your buying. Welcome to Commercial, because the mobs are having a wonderful day on this great 24th September 2005. Can't believe tomorrow we're losing the Good Place. Don't worry, we're in a position to do it. It's gonna be okay. Don't worry. Take them on the Good Place. Let's do another video if you don't mind, of course. Do you mind? Do you actually mind? Because if you do, I won't change video. So we're going to continue with season 2, episode 7, which is Derek. Season 2, episode 7, with Derek is kind of special. Derek is actually pretty cool as a concept. The character is kind of shitty. So Derek is the exact same as Janet, but if he was malfunctioning. So why is this so cool? Because Janet in itself is a hard concept to realize. So Derek has a failed version of it. Could be super, super, super cool. So we got Jason and Janet who are super in love. Derek and Janet who are super in love, which is kind of shitty because this is a rebound. But at the same time, it fixes the problem. See, Eleanor did do her best to give advice, but is it good advice? That's up to you to decide. We got a cool place, which is, we got a cool place and a good place, which is Michael sending Janu, and I'm gonna call him Tahani, Janu. Sometimes I'm gonna call him Jason. Sometimes it's Janu. They send him to literally get a wedding, which is kind of nice in itself because, again, this is supposed to be happening in season 1, episode 1, but never really happened. What's next? What is next? Baby, don't hurt me. So, Michael does ask the help for Shitty and Eleanor. Eleanor's such a weird name, but has also such a common name, possibly. And it's kind of cool because she trusts them. So in the rank of importance is Eleanor and Shitty. Now, is it because they're morally superior to Jason and Tahani? I don't know, but Michael does use them a lot more, and it's kind of the importance of it. But it's also important because we have Jason and Tahani who finally have their moment together, and it's cool. Do you believe in a relationship? No. Did I believe in a shitty relationship? I don't think I do. I don't know. It's kind of complex. So then Michael said, listen, Derek cannot exist because we need Janet for that to succeed. First of all, Janet will glitch if Derek is there. Second of all, Janet is needed for the plan. Third of all, Derek is not supposed to exist, so he shouldn't exist, right? Derek is the first of his kind. Yes, first of his kind, and there's no need for it. So also, this is kind of important because this is a representation of how human Janet is. Like, this need for a rebound, although it's caused by Eleanor, is something that a Janet never done before. See, the whole plot of it, right? The first season is planning this is a good place, but it's a bad place. The whole plot of the second season is, what if those people deserve to be in a good place, right? So, with Janet is the same thing. She deserves love, yes. Should she be in love? Absolutely. Is that what happened? Not necessarily, and that's okay. So next we have super cool moments between Tahani and Jason, and this is super cool because the couple counseling got Jason that felt like Tahani didn't care about him, and now she's showing that she cared, which is absolutely important. Got Jason and Janet that are now working out right away. They're fighting already, which is kind of good because Michael wants Derek to be put apart. But it's not because Jason and Janet, Derek and Janet are not working out. They're gonna put it apart. And this is the coolest thing also, is Janet is able to create a Derek. Is she able to delete a Derek? And this answer is kind of different, you know. And it's kind of cool because there's two main plot lines in this. The first plot line is Derek and Janet. The second plot line is Tahani and Jason. We don't want Jason and Tahani to be together, and this is the moral quandary. The moral quandary here is that Jason and Tahani should be able to marry each other if they want to. However, if they marry each other, then Janet will never be happy because she likes Jason, and this sucks for Jason. So separating them means that Janet is happy. So Janet being happy or not needing a rebound means that Derek doesn't exist. However, you broke a couple. So in the greater good and the trolley, they have the same thing. And this is kind of nice, because what would you do? And there's no answer to that. We got Michael literally saying, breaking up Jason and Tahani. You know? We have the literal wedding. We had the wedding, and this is kind of cool because this is the second wedding, and Jason is the second wedding. So it's nice because it's a feeling of deja vu, but somehow super different, you know? So we have We have Janet, who is the judge, who's gonna marry Jason and Tahani. This is cool because we're explaining the birth of Derek as a consequences of Jason leaving Janet. But the presence of Derek isn't a consequences; it's a plus. And Jason is a complete mess, complete mess. Now, also, this is cool because this is the first time that Derek is normal. So he's talking about how it wasn't supposed to happen. So one of this, the way he's explaining it, says, you gave me wind chime instead of a penis because Derek asked Janet, what does he have that I don't? And Janet says that he has genitals. So because Derek doesn't have genitals, Janet is like, okay, well, it's not gonna work out. But at the same time, Derek's not supposed to exist, you know? So this is the proof that he's a mistake. Because there's even a flaw in designing him, which is kind of cool. We got Eleanor. This is amazing. Eleanor that says, I was wrong. If you don't need a rebound guy, you need to heal over the fact that you and Jason won't work. And that's okay to be sad. It's okay to be miserable. It sucks, I get it. But you don't need to have a rebound guy. I was wrong. So this is Eleanor teaching. And this is also good because this is Eleanor being a good person, first of all. But this is also good because it's Eleanor saying like, yo, I was wrong with something that she doesn't do. So she's becoming a better teacher. And see, that's the thing. She was a teacher, right? It spread knowledge, which is an act of kindness. So possibly Eleanor sees that as a kind of kindness. So when she teaches people, it's an act of kindness, you know? So Janet reabsorbed Jason, which is kind of cool. Jason and Tahani, they're having a problem. Which sucks. Because it's all a question of... It sucks because you're creating a couple and you get attached to these people, but then you're breaking up, right? It's just a weird show, but it's a good show too. There's constant moments like that are weird. There's other moments like that are weird because you're literally building up Jason and Tahani to fail, but then you learn a couple lessons through it. They fell in love. Tahani was, the reason, improved, and they were both serving each other's needs. Jason again acknowledging Tahani, and Tahani taking care of Jason, which is super cool, right? It was a really good relationship. However, the whole thing here is not as important as Eleanor and Shitty. Eleanor and Shitty says, listen, I owe you an apology, I've been lying to you. And then, this is kind of cool because this episode taught her. Like, for example, because there was a rebound, when she fell in love with Shitty, she needed a rebound because this is the way of thinking. The reason she didn't do it is because there was no rebound, but if there was one, she would have done it, right? So then she tells Shitty, listen, I have something to tell you. And then this is kind of cool because she is faced with her first moral quandary. And her very first moral quandary is what? Her very first moral quandary is the fact that I'm keeping a secret, and if I tell you, I'm going to hurt you. But keeping a secret in itself is bad to begin with. So it's a really nice mixture of something that's supposed to be happening and something that happened itself. And it's cool because it's something. For example, if you had a secret that doesn't change anything in anybody's life, right? But you feel bad keeping, would you tell it, or at the same time, wouldn't you? You know? And here, Eleanor didn't tell people. I'm not gonna say it. And the secret is about Shitty, so she should tell him. So she showed him the tape of the two of them falling in love. You know. And this is important because Eleanor had this knowledge, but Shitty didn't know. This is so cool because Shitty see himself, and he says, "I've never been so sure about something as I am in this video." And this is weird because I'm not used to it, you know. There's also a really, really cool thing where they're both having a hard time acknowledging the feelings. It's Shitty who was never able to make a decision, and Eleanor was never able to be vulnerable. Eleanor was vulnerable, and Shitty made a decision, so they're both good for each other. So where I am, they're basically reborn And because they're basically reborn, they find themselves in real life. And this is how it happens, because there's no reboot in real life, right? So Michael goes in, and we just have a talk. And this is such an important part. This is not such an important part because this is amazing. So this in itself is, Michael says, how did you take the decision? Why did you tell Shitty, right? And it was basically like, 10%. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go in soon. But it's okay. So far we're not in a big drama. So basically, Eleanor tells him, there's a little voice in my head, and that little voice is kind of my guilty part, saying that, yo, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this to Shitty, and you felt right about it. And even though I told him, and even though I didn't get the result that I wanted, I still got rid of the little voice. Now, why is that important? Because when they get revived, Michael will talk to Eleanor, and this is the moment he will tell her that, remember this. And this is super cool because Michael believes that Eleanor's a really good person, and this is insane. This is super, super cool. Because here, Eleanor and Michael become friends, But then the ending of the episode happens, and it's Sean. You see, I watched this yesterday and I already don't remember. Already don't remember. So we got season 2, episode 8, which is A Fall of Faith. There you go. So basically what Sean does here, and this is kind of cool. Sean goes here. Trust from a fall from grace. So this episode is about Sean that comes in. Sean comes in, and he's like, you know what? You convinced me. I didn't think that you had it in you, but this actually works. This neighborhood that you created actually works. I don't know how you pull it off, but it works. So because it works, what we're gonna do is we're gonna destroy it. We're gonna do other ones like this, right? So basically, what he's saying is, you've proven what you wanted to prove, and we're gonna destroy the neighborhood. We're gonna destroy it because we showed that it's success, right? And this is kind of stupid because in the episode they're saying like Sean took all the credits, right? And this is super cool because Sean took all the credits from the higher ups, but Sean gave all the credits to Michael. And he said to Michael, you did it. He didn't say to the higher ups, he said I did it, but to Michael he said you did it. And this is super cool because Vicky was like, no. And this is also amazing because in the last episode we see Eleanor giving the secret to Shitty, that's the video where she said I love you. And then Vicky's like, yo, this is my neighborhood. This is me that's behind it. Either you tell him that I'm behind, or I tell him about all the time it fails. And this is Vicky who's constantly failing. It's Vicky who was constantly wanting to do bad things. And here, Michael is a guy who's good. See, Vicky is possibly a version of Michael before Michael became morally questioning life in itself. And because he started morally questioning life in itself, he became a better person, right? Vicky is possibly a past version, or even because the real Michael, we never had him. We had him in season 1, then we're having in season 2 for 2 episodes, and then we're having a team up. So we never really had a real Michael. So what was it like? Was it like more like Vicky? And this is what we're having a problem with, So yeah, this is nuts because he says here, Michael says, are you really happy? And he says, I'm squealing like a little girl. And this is funny because this reminded me of Holt in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Kevin and Sean are very, very, very similar. So this is cool. So Michael and Sean are going against the fort. Now, this is possibly one of the most, if not the most important episode of the season, but it's also one of the greatest and most valuable of the season. So it's basically asking, did Michael truly change? Because in here, he betrays them. And he's like, yo, I'm working with Sean. I was never honest. I never meant to be nice to you guys. Y'all suck, right? and then everybody is wondering, did Michael turn or not? And this is super cool because Michael at the end doesn't turn. And this, I gotta say, is unbelievable. And it's not because, in a sense, this episode is complete annoying. Because he's always repeating the same thing. However, we see Michael change, and it's like, okay, well, we saw him change, well, he made the right decision. So when he make at the end the right decision, like, holy shit, this pay off. So,
Something I wanted to say for a very... That's right, nerds. Everything to say for a very long time. Surprise, idiots. You're all in the...
Yes, there you go. So basically, also what you have to try to understand here is Michael is still pretending that this is the second try. And what is really cool is when he says you're in the bad place, surprise, they're all acting shocked. So it helps sell to Sean that this is the second one. However, they're shocked not because it's the bad place, they're shocked because Michael betrayed them, which is just brilliant. There's gonna be a moment in this episode which is brilliant.
Destroy the place, play beer pong with Jason's...
So they're talking about how to torture each of them, which is kind of cool.
You're supposed to make me feel drunk.
Super, super cool. Now, here's the good part, right? So Janet here wears magnets because it makes her drunk, first of all, but also because it blocks her power. So this is important. Why? Because she is a good Janet and would work towards helping the human, but because she cannot do anything, she's basically powerless to help anybody. So this is not super important, but it just shows the range of the actions of Janet. Janet is, again, a zero. You had points. Okay, well, she's acting like that. She's drunk. She's flirty. She's funny, you know. And I do like that. I do like how much they're doing with the character. It's meaningful because they're doing a lot with the characters. It's not meaningful because there's no changes that stays, but it shows the range of what the character could be. So now everybody is asking, why did Michael betray us? And this is super cool because they're all believing that they betray him, and every single one person feel like Michael did betray them, except for Eleanor. So they said, what is the plan? Do we escape to the middle place? And this is cool because they know about the middle place. And Eleanor's like, you know what? I have a plan. We're doing nothing and we keep on trusting Michael. And this is cool because she's the only one that trusts Michael. Because I feel like she feels a kinship with Michael.
Trade information on Michael or try to escape to the medium place?
Neither.
There you go.
We ignore...
You see? And it's amazing. And it's just amazing. So everybody is questioning her. And this is so fucking cool. Everybody is questioning Eleanor. But now, here is the most important part of this decision. Eleanor basically vouched for Michael. So then, it's not about do we trust Michael, it's about do we trust Eleanor. And in this case, yes, they trust Eleanor. So because they trust Eleanor, then this whole point of can we trust Michael is pointless. Because again, it's not Michael that we trust, it's Eleanor. And because it's not Michael that we trust, it's Eleanor, and we do trust her. She's proven time and time again that she's a good person. She's proven time and time again that she's changed. She's not the selfish human being that she was, which is kind of important in itself. Also, which is really, really cool, is Eleanor now has 1 season and 8 episodes to show that she's a good person. There is a guy in here, which his name is Krieger, right? Krieger, okay? And Krieger, what he says is, and this is super cool. This is really, really, really important. So Krieger goes in, and he mentioned the name of Krieger, right? Then Eleanor's like, this guy is asking us to take a leap of faith because this book, which is written by Krieger, is talking about taking a leap of faith. That's his whole thing. Then Michael's like, holy shit, you literally wrote... Yeah, no, shitty. It's like, holy shit, you literally read a book that I didn't tell you to read. What's wrong with you? You're doing so good. You're so motivated, which is, in itself, kind of cool. Kind of cool. So then, perfect. The next scene is Vicky. Now, this is super nice because Vicky see that Michael is getting all the credits. But she's like, okay, well, I did something too. So now she starts to blackmail. Now, what is it cool with the character of Vicky? We didn't see her for a while. Why is that cool? Because she's not an omnipotent character. She's sometimes there. She is there. What she represents, however, is omnipotent. It's always a failure of Michael because he got betrayed by his old team. Vicky also represents the reason as to why Michael had to do the deal with the 4 people. So we got a literal roast, which is kind of cool because they're making fun of everybody. Now, the roast is shitty. However, there's one person that's really important. Really, really, really important. He does a joke on the favorite football player of Jason, and he calls him Derek. Derek, we remember, is a character that was created. So they're wanting them to get to Derek because Derek has the power of Janet. Make sense? Make a lot of sense, I guess. So they're always trying to see, like, hey, what is going on? So they're basically what they're looking at is the destruction of the neighborhood, and it's kind of sucked because they had so many emotion there. So this is the low point. Like, okay, well, our home is getting destroyed. We have so many memories there are destroyed. The guy that could help us basically betrayed us. We have no hope of getting out alive. There's no hope left, and all of the hope lies in a guy that just took hours to betray us. This is super cool. There's a scene here where Michael will whisper all night long to Vicky. Now, it is revealed after this episode. This I love because you're establishing a plot, but you're also entering the plot the same episode. Which, fuck waiting for hours upon hours upon hours. Just give me the answer. Give me the time to think about it, but give me the answer after. And what he was doing is, he knew that Michael needed Janet to betray her, right? He knew that he needed, whatever he was planning, he needed Janet, right? And then what happened is, he whispered to Janet, something, Vicky, something. Janet is drunk because of the magnet, right? But she said the truth. So when Vicky says to Janet, what did he tell you? And then Janet is acting drunk and she say, something, Vicky, something, right? And that's literally what Michael said. So he knew that Vicky was going to betray him. What she did is she tried to free Vicky. She tried to free Janet, which is Michael using her as a scapegoat. So you see Michael good, but also a devil. So he does is, so they go in, and they see that they steal the train. They steal the train, and these guys, the two guys, this is the people that we watched the Red Moon with, which is super nice. So Vicky betrays Michael, which is basically telling everything that happened. This is super cool because they see a train escaping, and they feel like the four people that left from the middle place, which they didn't. They stayed behind. So bad Janet's literally. So there you go. So then Sean is pissed off because the four people left, and Vicky tells Sean that Michael was behind everything, right? Which he wasn't. And Michael will throw Vicky under the bus, or under the train, if you will. I'm proving that she is the one, which is kind of cool. And then Sean will believe Michael and destroy Vicky, and this is super cool. Why? So she says that she tried to take out the bracelet for Janet, which is the one that helped them escape. So Sean, what he does is, this is super cool. Sean, what he does is he captures or tortures Vicky, and then the train leave. And CDK will find them. You stay here, Michael. You make sure that if they're still around, you make sure that you're there. And then onto the train, you got what? You got the four people, and then you realize that Michael didn't betray them, which is super good because again, it proves that Michael was on their side, which is an amazing scene. Look at this. I love this guy. What a brilliant actor. Now, what is the cool thing here? What is the super cool thing? It sucks, dude. It sucks. Because you saw those guys in multiple videos, you know. They're having fun, which is normal. And here we are working, you know. I was talking about a lot about Existential Crisis today. Am I more Ink or more Steph? Steph will just chill with those guys. Ink doesn't, you know. Anyway. You got 24 hours to do 25 episodes. Holy shit. That's a lot. Okay. So he betrayed them. Now this is a cool thing because they talk about how they realized I don't remember this. I actually don't remember this. So Michael, he tells them how many clues he left behind, and then they said, okay, well, I left you 200 clues, but you just get to pick up 3. It's okay, you did the right thing anyway. I don't remember this. So they have a chance to escape, but then she realized that this is exactly the place that they're gonna be, the medium place. So what they do is they send Derek to Mindy Sinclair house with cocaine and Derek to sleep over. I don't remember this. I don't remember this. There you go. So everybody's like, yeah, we're gonna go to the good place, which is good. Then they focus on Michael, doesn't seem happy. So here it is. The next episode is the good place, which is kind of cool because we realize that Michael was full of shit. He doesn't know how to get a good place. Yeah. How many batteries do we have? Are we good with batteries? No. Okay, we have the time to do maybe one more. I'll do one more, but it's gonna be fast. It's gonna be fast as fuck, boys. Okay, so we get the intro, which is basically saying goodbye to the good place, which is kind of nuts because, again, we've spent so much time here. Michael takes them to a blip, which is kind of insane because there's a little blip. And it's cool because they're eating frozen yogurts and they're like, okay, well, let's remind ourselves that we have some good place. The good place does that a lot. There's a lot of feel-good moment, you know? So then we have a entry to the blip. And this is kind of cool because this is Michael still being Michael. So what they do is there's four, they have to be the 4. So if you're the best version of yourself, then you'll be able to get on the blip. So they go, all the time they go in, and they're like, okay, well, am I the best version of myself? So the first time they go, everybody passes except for Shitty. Shitty feels like, I'm not the best version of myself, because there's possibly a version that was rebooted that was better than this. And then, I don't know, it's like, fuck it. If you believe that you get the best version here, those versions doesn't exist anymore. Don't care about this one. Focus on this one. And then Eleanor, the second one that doesn't go in, because Shitty got into her head. I would tell the actor they fucked up over here because it's kind of logic that the last one isn't gonna pass. So then they're arguing. And then Michael says, you know what, I was full of shit. I didn't know how to get to the good place. I'm sorry I lied to you guys. It means it's cool. You know why? Because Shitty realized that the best version of him is this version. And you know why it is? Because this version was able to take Eleanor and make her a good person. Was able to take Jason and make him a good person. So it's actually super meaningful. Because the good he did around him is more than other version of himself, you know? So then they're pissed off at Michael because he lied about the good place. But Michael is saying that there is a last option, right? We can, if we go through the hell, we can actually get to the good place. We have to go through hell though, so we have to hide ourselves as this is super cool. This is super cool because if they hide themselves in the bad place, they might be able to go to the good place, but it's not easy. They'll have to hide themselves. They'll have to pretend like they belong in the bad place. There's a lot of chance that there's something wrong that's gonna happen. But there's a lot of chances, most likely, something wrong will happen. So this is kind of funny. Now, they start drinking, which is super nice because they're drinking tequila. It's again a feel-good moment, right? And what I think happened here is they weren't sure it was gonna be a 3rd season. So they go to they take the risk, right? And this is cool because we got Tahani and Jason says, hey, what if you don't make it? What if we don't make it? You know? And it's about the risk. You got Tahani, Jason, you got Shitty, and you got Shitty and Eleanor. And this is so cool because they realize that there's a lot of risk here. It's like okay, well, this is the finale. We are sacrificing everything. We are risking everything. It just doesn't work. We're fucked. It doesn't work. We're gonna get tortured, and now we're gonna be losing each other. And it's meaningful, but it's not the most meaningful thing ever. You know, it's not the most meaningful thing ever. So then, such a nice moment. They're celebrating, and they're even telling Michael that he's a pretty good dude, and they make him an honorary human. It's super meaningful, you know. And then they're chilling around. And it's super nice. It's super nice because it's emotional. You really feel for these people, right? And then Eleanor's like, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. They get drunk, and they're like, let's do it. And then they go to the judge. They want to go to the judge and prove that they have a chance to be the Good Place resident. So then they say fuck it, and they go to the Good Place. They decided to go, which is super cool. It's sad because you see Eleanor and Shitty saying back to the house. You're seeing the entire Good Place. Everybody is saying goodbye. It sucks because you really feel like the end of the series. You feel like the end of the series, and again, we are at, it's season 2, episode 9. There's only 12 episodes, so it could be the end of it. Will we make it to season 3? We made it to season 3, baby. We made it to season 3. Oh, hell yeah. So then, Michael get the bad Janet to go and pick them up on a train, which again, remember that we need a Janet for that. 54, we're good. And Michael killed the bad Janet, which is super nice. Now, there's a ton of jokes of how the bad place is the bad place and the good place is the good place. But we were the good place because we were here. And this, I gotta show you because this is so nice. This I gotta show you because this is so nice. There you go. Just a couple of seconds. Look. See the neighborhood. The neighborhood is being destroyed. Everything that Michael has ever worked for. Completely destroyed. This is genius. Look at this. For Milan. There you go. So we're gonna take a break and we'll continue after. Tomorrow we're doing a special. Tomorrow it's only The Good Place. We got 3 episodes. I got 15. I got 20. I wish I was better. 28 episodes to do. 28 episodes. It's 4 per hours. I got, oh my god. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. We'll do it. We'll be able to. If I can finish to season 3, episode 3 or 4 today, I'm gonna be very happy. Because season 2 is 12 episodes, season 3 is 12 episodes, season 4 is 13. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Sorry if somehow we took a shortcut. It's just that, again, this is a tough show to recap. I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Life is what happened while you're busy making your excuses. There's no battle tonight. There. Yeah, there's no battles. Okay, let's go ahead. Life is what happened while you're busy making your excuses. Another day, another casual day. But that won't happen to me. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Won't come back around. Whoa, whoa. Procrastination. Okay. So 30. Divided by 4. Gonna miss me when I'm gone. My apologies. Okay. Where's the weather? I don't care. Oh no.
Agree or disagree?
Life without parole is to count for the offense of attempted murder, violation of vice code.
Another world record. People make Jagger.
This is one of the best and
It's really cool, Nick. What happened to you?
Love your job. Job your love. Don't. Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Hey, shut the fuck up! I had to go to the comments. Don't face your fears. Fear your fate. Don't cross your finger. Finger your crotch. Don't love your wife. Wife your love. Don't waste time. Time you wait. No.
Give me your paw. Okay. Zemilamano. Hey, honey. Give me a song.
Let's show them your trick. Close your eyes. Okay, open them.
hasta que lo pone en el piso. Vean la reacción de Coco cuando lo deja